Horde members, we have a special show for you today. 5, 6 shows that just transpired over the weekend. Our boy Avon, the Australian voice of men's physique, Phil Naselli is back in Australia. Let's go, baby. What's going on, Phil?
Holy shit.
And then we got our boy out there in Thailand, the man himself, heartbeat of men's physique. Y'all know him, Hart McGrath. Let's go, y'all.
Oh,
let's go, Hart.
Let's go. And your boy, the Gaffer, here in Hotlanta, ready to take off and jet out to Japan later on this week. Aleem Bolton. Man, what a show, what a weekend, what a lot we have to talk about, boys. It's always bananas in our division, but let's just jump into it, man. What you got for us, Hart? How you feeling?
Feeling super good. Super happy to be back with the boys, back with the Horde. As you heard, the GAFA 5 pro shows this weekend. Some history was made. We got some interviews that were actually conducted with the guy who made the history. Phil broke the news. Aleem was at the show. There's 5 pro shows. We got to get into it. Phil's back in Australia. Phil, how does it feel to be back in Australia, back on home soil?
It is freezing. I'll tell you that much. Going from 40-degree Dubai weather to now 12-degree Melbourne weather is a bit of a change. But you know what? I'm a man of routine. I like my computer. I love my lighting. It's good to be back home. And looking forward to jumping into this episode. Let's get into it.
Let's go. Well, let's talk about the very first one. Shout out to our boy, Anabolic Space. Manifest was the head sponsor of this show. Super sick to see. I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4 Manifest board shorts on stage. Hopefully next time it's all Manifest. Gaffa, I gotta throw it over to you because we're talking about some history that I believe was made. Dallas Botchway not only wins the World Classic Pro, but I'm gonna go to this tab and show you that he also won the Body B1 Classic. You saw Dallas Botchway in person. I'm gonna click on his Instagram right now. You're looking at his physique. Why did he win 2 pro shows in one weekend?
Well, this guy he's got a great team behind him, man. Let's start with that. His team helped to keep his mind in the right headspace, as well as they ride or die with him and vice versa. And he's got 2 great guys in his corner. So it was phenomenal to see them kind of come together, drive out there, make the trip. He was diced. I mean, when he took his shirt off, he's full. He's got great muscle, but he's got those African muscle bellies. They just pop out. He's got like next to nothing from a waist. And he knew it was destiny for him. He knew coming in after Mile High, coming in second behind Victor Ramirez, excuse me. He knew that he was gonna win the show. He understood what he had to do. He dialed in the physique. He got even crispier. His posing is one of the best posers in all of men's physique. I mean, he reminds me of Ruff from Classic. He has a very similar fluidity to the physique and how he exposes it. He was dope. And then literally turned around and said, "Bro, broke the news right on in the interview." He was like, "Bro, I'm literally turning around. We're leaving out of here and we're driving out to Alabama and we'll be on the road." And it was on. And he was like, "I'm going to win that show too." And he said it. He called it. He was like, "I'm winning that show too." I was like, "Let's go." Yeah, that was
crazy.
dope. That was a special moment, man. Special moment for us, for him, for the show. Honorable guy. He can't wait to get on, man. He watches us, loves the show. Shout out to Dallas Botchway, Skinny Macho. Phil, what do you think of when you see this? I mean, you talked about him. What did you think of this physique and just the determination back to back? Where was your headspace at with this?
Man, like you said, I mean, the first time we saw Dallas was at that Mile High show, and I knew this guy is something special. I mean, when you look at the proportions that this guy has, like that shoulder to waist ratio is nuts. His waist is tiny. I don't know what size those board shorts are, but the waist is so small. The shoulders, the arms, the lats, they're just so bubbly. Like he's got a really bubbly physique. When he turns to the back, like he's got a really good back as well. I don't know if you guys noticed, but his legs, he's actually got a set of wheels on him. If you go back to, the video of him posing on stage, which one was? Yeah, this one here. Take a look at his calves.
Wow.
He's got damn thick, tall calves on him.
That's great for a black guy.
No comment. But
Facts.
it's great for a white guy too, to be honest with you. But
we'll say it for you, Phil.
say it for me. But he's posing like it. You said it perfectly, Gaffer. It's like a rough Terrence Ruffin in the men's physique division. The way that he poses is very classic physique, like very different to how a lot of athletes pose. Like even when he did that archer sort of pose, we saw the Brazilian guy at can't remember what show it was. I think it was the Legion. It was a very similar pose to that, and it's really nice to see. I mean, with men's physique, you got two poses. You got a front pose and you got a back pose, but this guy's kind of changing the way that posing is done in this division. And I hope to see more of it because, bodybuilding is an art, and this guy's bringing, that posing side of it back into this division. We see it obviously in classic physique. We don't really see it much in the open, but if we can start to integrate, like look at his legs, man, distracted me. If we can start to see more of this in the men's physique division, this will be absolutely amazing for the sport. And the fact that he did two shows back to back. I mean, I know Chiron did it a couple of years ago. I know Ruben Glass did it last year as well. But in this season, I mean, last year you needed one pro show to qualify for the Olympia. Now the competition is even harder. Strategy is playing a massive part in the shows that these guys decide to do. And I'm glad that, Dallas capitalize on this to go and drive 2 hours to Alabama to compete in another pro show, and it absolutely paid off. So I'm rapt to see this guy on the qualified list. Hart, what do you think about Dallas?
I want to throw it back to you guys, actually. I want to ask one of you, whoever wants to answer this. Dallas won 2 pro shows in a weekend. Thinking about Dallas Botchway in the past, I think of this video back at the Wasatch Warrior 60 weeks ago, so about a year ago, and this was the first time that I saw him. And I thought the physique stood out, obviously. He had the same crazy muscle bellies. He had the tiny waist. He had that freaky looking physique. He is an Olympian. But looking at him now on stage, clearly he's made some improvements. I want to ask you, Gaff, I'll throw it to you. What else does Dallas Botchway need to do if he wants to place at this year's Mr. Olympia, to get in the top 10, to place in a result that would shock the bodybuilding world?
Bro, I honestly think that he's going to probably be top 15. And I say that because I look at who he's beaten. I mean, Emerson, he came close with Victor Ramirez. He was second. I mean, they were close. I mean, the scorecard was literally 1 point difference. And that's because Emerson was just losing a lot of the contraction in the abs. So he had it, and then he would lose it, then he would bring it back and all. But I would say that Dallas needs to just continue to work on those obliques, get them even more etched, and just continue to bring up the lower latch just a little bit. I mean, he's got a phenomenal back. He's got crazy, small, little tiny waist. Legs are there. He can leave all those alone. Shoulders are capped. I mean, looks good there. Bring up the chest maybe just a hair. And really those obliques, man, he just needs to etch those, because all the guys at the top have super next level diced obliques. And his obliques were great compared to everybody else. I mean, he had striations coming out of everywhere when he did the X-Man pose and all, but he brings those in a little bit more. Like those lines should continue a little bit further down where his hand is, and they should be running. Like Ali Bilal has lines that continue going all the way down to the hand. Brandon Hendrickson has lines that go all the way down to the hand. Ryan Terry has lines that go all the way down to the, so forth and so on. The only one who stops slightly short of all the way down there, you got to start looking at Banks, and Edvon has them. Banks doesn't really, but he has just everything else. And Edvon does have lines that go all the way down to the hips, damn near on the oblique side. So I would say he just continues to bring that up, and this guy's right there at the chest a little bit.
Phil, you're one of the best coaches in Australia. You're the owner of Al Physique. You know some really good exercises that could help Dallas Botchway bring in those lower obliques even more so. Because I think Aleem's right. Like at this point, we are nitpicking his physique. And yes, the obliques look good, but let's get him to that Ali Bilal level. What movements, what exercises do you think Dallas could do to improve the obliques, to just take him to that next tier.
The only thing that he can really do is any sort of rotation ab exercise. You don't want to do, I mean, you see a lot of people in the gym doing like the side sort of crunches. That isn't going to do anything other than make your waist super thick. So all Dallas wants to be doing moving from this point forward, obviously he's going to lock it down between now and Olympia, is just do more rotational sort of stuff, some weighted, crisscross sort of ab rotations. They're the real main ones that he's going to need to do. Other than that, dialing it in a little bit more, just getting a little bit more shredded, a little bit more conditioned. That's the only two things that you are able to do in that midsection. So yeah, and I'm sure he knows this. And I know he's working with I know the diet side of things is with Crucicito, one of the best coaches in the world. And having that guy in your corner, we know what he's done in his career. He's won Olympias with multiple different athletes. I'm not sure how many different athletes. Well, he's actually got Ali Bilal. So obviously, this guy is a master of dialing things in. So he's got the best help behind him at the moment. But yeah, just some rotational things and just getting a little bit leaner. That's all he can do.
I love that. Gaff, I'll throw it over to you. Who else stood out to you at this show? I know fourth place Brady Roberts, you had a really cool conversation with backstage. What stood out to you when you looked at Brady Roberts on stage? What'd you like about his physique? I know he was so pumped to not only get his pro card the same day, but also hop into the pro show, one of the only guys to do it, and then place really damn well.
He has a great family. Like his wife was there. She's awesome. She's a competitor also. They did a show together before. I think it was earlier this year or end of last year. So, but his back stood out. It was wide. He's a big dude. Like he's 6'2" and a half, 219-ish pounds. His weight cap is 234. Like this guy's a big guy. And you can tell like his abs were not as etched as earlier when he had one and turned pro, when he had one overall. Because, obviously you're on stage a lot. You're starting to fatigue. Cortisol levels are up. But he just said, bump it. Let's see what happens. Let's roll the dice, throw it against the wall, the spaghetti against the wall. Let's see if it sticks. And he came in fourth. I didn't have him in fourth initially. But then when I saw him on stage, I saw the width, the density, especially compared to everyone else. He was sticking it out. You have to reward a guy who's essentially he's been on stage probably 4 or 5 times that day, posing since the morning all the way to the evening. I'm glad that he made it. He came in fourth. He looked phenomenal. Another guy who stood out real quick, I just want to point out, and shout out to Brady, man. Like he's dope. He loves our show. They were like, thank God that we have your show, guys, because you give us so many little tips. You give the guys so many little cues and tips. It's really helping the division move forward. And here you have an amateur who watches, who's a student of the game, watches whatever he can, gets all the information, goes on stage, rocks out, wins his pro show, turns around, comes in fourth at a major stack show with a bunch of Olympians in it. So kudos to him. The other one who stood out was our guy in sixth place right there. That dude's width, when he has a great front shot, bro. His lats flare so wide in that front shot. I was really impressed, and the fans really liked him when he stood on stage and he did that front shot. He just needs to etch in those abs more, but he had a great front shot. Has a nice back. I was really impressed. I thought he did a great job, and clearly you can see he's come a long way. So, what's his name?
TJ Sanchez.
TJ Sanchez. Yeah. Love TJ Sanchez, man. He's got a bright future. He's a good looking dude. He's coming up for sure. And of course, Bassa, bless you. Bassa was rocking. I think Bassa his body was a little tired. He's been running the gauntlet a little bit. I think his body was a little tired. And I think that, he probably could have waited a little bit longer to pump up, but man, Bassa looked impressive. Great shoulders, of course, great physique, impressive. And of course, our Brazilian bull, the Brazilian bull himself, Emerson Costa. Boys, Emerson's back and his posing. He's been with Edvan Palmeira. Edvan's really been putting him under his wing the past few weeks. And look at that back. To me, he had the best back on stage, hands down. The detail, the level of detail, the width, the density, how he displays his back now. Instead of leaning all the way back, he puts that back flat right there so you can see all the detail. The arms are in, so he doesn't have a lot of space between the lats and the arms. He's winning the back shot against any and everybody. It's just when he turned to the front, the abs, he wasn't able to control the abs, so they were coming in, coming out, and I think that's what hurt him next to a guy with a small, tiny ass waist like Dallas. I mean, it was just, that's not the guy you want to stand next to and do a Superman pose, because his waist is just so small. Avon, what do you see with those guys? What are you seeing?
The first thing I see is zoom into those shorts, boys. Are we getting a sneak peek of a new range? When I saw him, I'm like, hang on, I haven't seen those shorts before. And then I saw the logo on the back. I'm like, hang on, that logo looks a little bit different. But yeah, those shorts look absolutely fire. Speaking of Manifest, I literally have a look at this beauty. I couldn't wait to get home to crack this one open. So I've got myself my little action figure that looks really, really cool. The tan matches my European tan. So Alex and Dorian got that one right. They might have taken they took some notice of my tan while I was away. But yeah, these guys looked absolutely incredible. To your point, Gaff, I think having Edvan Palmeira under, by your side every single day. I mean, to learn off someone like that, to get into his mindset, to tap into, that champion mentality that Edvan has would do Emerson wonders, especially after the run that he's gone on the last month or so. So yeah, I'm rapt to see those two guys together. He's still sleeping. I don't know if you guys saw, but I told Edvan I might need to do a series of Emerson Costa sleeping. We might keep that one for the next episode. But I want to wrap this one up just to say one more thing about what Bradley,
Right.
is that
Brady,
what he did. And I think a lot of other newly appointed pros should take notes on this, because end of the day, like if you're at a show where you've just recently won your pro card and there is a pro show, it makes all the sense in the world to dip your feet into that pro show and see where you stand against some of the best. I know there was a lot of other guys that also were offered the same opportunity and they turned it away. My question is why? You've got 3 Olympians on that stage. This guy came 4th behind 3 Olympians. What other athlete around the world this weekend was able to say the exact same thing? Not many. So massive respect to Brady for doing that. At least now that would have got the juices going. Now he knows where he stands. He's jumped into his first pro show. He collected, the GASP gift card. He collected, a medal. He collected some points at his first ever pro show. So, guys moving forward, guys who are currently competing in the NPC, guys who win their pro card this year, if you do have the opportunity to jump on a pro show, after taking out that pro card on the same day, do it.
Last thing real quick too. I just want to say shout out to our Brazilian brothers, man. Went out 5 guys. We went to 5 guys. We ate afterwards. It was dope. It was
5 guys went to 5 guys.
5 guys went to 5 guys. It was Dr. Sergio, who's always with Emerson, and Edvan when they come into town, Bassa. They all had their, except for Edvan and me, and well, I guess Emerson, only 2 of them had their family, but Bassa brought his wife, and Sergio had his wife, who's also a competitor.
Horde. He's got the Horde on.
The Horde shirt.
I saw that.
Right.
Let's go.
All the boys rocking the Horde shirts. Edvan got his too. Bassa has one, so it was real dope. I'm so happy for the boys, man. They loved it. They felt so honored that we were able to gift them the shirts and everything. And I love our Brazilian brothers, man. They are absolutely the Brazilian Horde. Rock with them. Shout out to our Brazilian brothers. Let's go, baby. Y'all know I get hyped. We were hyping 5 guys. I almost started throwing fries in there.
We need a sponsorship. Exciting. We need a sponsorship from 5 guys now.
Love it. Well, let's get into the next topic. The next story of the weekend, guys, was kind of a repeat of what we just talked about. Dallas Botchway wins the Body B1 Classic. And Aleem, this was the show you were at, correct? Tell us a little bit about this show. What was going on? You had boots on the ground.
No, I was here. I did that show last year. And I know Roland, who's the promoter. Sid Gillian was there also, 8-time figure champion. She helped out, I think, with some of the promotion. But a lot of the guys were there. I didn't want to go into that show. I came back because I had to get back home and start getting ready for our trip this week. But, man, the guys here, it was crazy to see. The shocker to me, guys, was Joe Usato not placing in the top 6. That was a big shocker to me, bro. I couldn't believe that. But when you look at the physique, the abs are not there like they normally are. It looks like he's holding water. It wasn't as fresh as the physique that we saw just what was it, a week ago that he just won? So I don't know what happened there. The back wasn't popping as much. But yeah, Dallas
but
looked
outside
incredible.
of this top sixth.
Yeah, I know, right? That just blew my mind, especially against this. And again, there's different tiers to this. Everyone who steps on stage obviously has put in a lot of sacrifice, a lot of work. But a guy like Joe Uwazato is just on such another level in terms of tier ranking. I certainly expected him to be either number 1 or 2 coming out of this show. I couldn't believe that he wasn't in the top 6. I was really, but then when you look, you see. I mean, look at the back. He's holding water. He spilled over. I mean, it's not there. But Dallas, man, wow, what a phenomenal. He got even crispier within that 24-hour period of time. Look at him. He looks better at the Body B1 show when you look at his lines and the flow than he even did at the Tennessee show at the World Classic. It's impressive, man.
Yeah, I agree. Go up, go to the photo on top of the photo of Mihart, the 2 wins one. That one there.
Double champ. That's that one.
Look how much sharper it got. So the left was the Body B1 and the right was the World Classic. He looks a lot sharper. Like, look at the striations in his pec. They're a lot deeper in the left photo than they are on the right photo. So yeah, he definitely improved over the drive over there.
Wow. Incredible. It's crazy to see this physique not pop out of nowhere, but like just to do so good in such a short period of time, make some history, 2 wins in 24 hours, Olympia qualified. This is definitely the shock of the season. What video was it? When I saw this video, this 8K footage, I was like, yo.
I was going to message Gaffer and say, Gaffer, what camera is he using? What light is he using? And what backdrop is he using? Because I need this set up for my check-in photos.
They had the professional guys out, bro. He looked so good. When he took his shirt off, you could tell all the guys looked and were like, oh, that's a problem. That's a problem. Emerson took his off. Everyone knew that was a problem. So those two dudes, all eyes were on them. And I had to tell Dallas, bro, it's like Tupac right now. All eyes on you, bro. Everyone's checking. Everyone's looking for you now. Now you made a splash. Hart, who reminds you of Dallas Botchway, an athlete that's coming up that has a similar physique? Who do you think of?
Man, that's such a good question. Yeah. Who are you thinking?
You got it, Avon? Jamel Hill.
Yeah, I can see that.
Jamal Hill.
Prodigy.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Crazy small waist,
yes.
bubbly muscle bellies.
Yes.
But has the legs. He just looks like a smaller version of Dallas, right?
Yeah.
Slightly, as of right now, just Dallas is a little bit further in his journey than he is. But similar style, similar flow to the physique.
Yes.
The portions go crazy.
Pickup.
That's solid.
That's a great pickup, Gaffer.
Bro, I'm telling you, the only thing he needs is those manifest shorts, and he's rocking, man.
He's there.
I'll give him these. Let me tell you, I'll give him these.
I haven't opened mine yet. I've got to take mine out of the packet, but they're fire.
Yeah, I'll give him the Storm Chasers. Anyone
else to you guys stood out at this show? Anyone else you would like to talk about that placed at this show? Here's your top 6. We see Zach Savoy, and they're at 4th place. Always looking crispy as hell.
He's getting sharper and sharper with every show that he does.
4th place, he said.
Yeah, and well deserved. I mean, that front shot is money, man. Like, if he just is able to make the improvements in his back and bring up the detail and the density in his back to match the front, this guy, you can't sleep on him. You cannot sleep on him. He's got that men's physique. He's got the men's physique look, the small waist, the abs, the obliques are there. He's got the look about him. It's just that back that needs to come up. But as soon as he does that, this guy's going to be dangerous. What do you think, Gaffer?
I think the abs also in Body B1, I think his abs were better in the last show than here. I think that they were a little bit more edged throughout the posing. There were highlights where he was able to like really punch him in, but look how he even walks into the frame and how like flat and washed they look right there. Right there. See, look at that. They should be like bow, 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 bow. At this, you're in front of the judges right now. You should be contracted in the abs. As soon as you hit that stage and you're walking out, they should be like, wow, and start the wow factor feeling within them as you're walking out. Not when you get into your pose. Like by the time you get into your pose, and even here, like it just doesn't look as crispy as it did last week, but his obliques go crazy. I mean, he has some of the best genetics with those interior serratus and intercostal muscles. I mean, like he goes Ali Bilal-esque on that level, if not even better. Look how low they go, all the way down to the hip, like we were talking about earlier, right? Like if Dallas had that, he's in top 10 for sure. Like if he had that on the side with everything else he's got going on, that's top 10 status right there for sure.
But the question that I need answered is, did he do the Savoy wave when he walked in?
The Savoy wave. I don't think he did this time.
No, it didn't look like he did.
No, he made
What do you think,
Yeah. I love Zach's physique. I think, Phil, you said last week, kind of reminded you of like that most shredded Drew Cullen look. The front shot is just men's physique through and through. I hope he stays healthy. I hope, he can continue making improvements and growing where he needs to, because there's no doubt in my mind that this physique can place one day at the Mr. Olympia. He has the look with the face, very marketable. The front, we already know, is money. I still think he can bring up the chest, dialed in with the abs even more, bring up the back. But the genetics and the shape are absolutely there. Here he was a week ago at the Toronto Pro. And this is what Gaff was talking about when he says Savoy. I mean, unless the footage is, not telling the right story, but it clearly looks like in Toronto, he was just a little bit crispier. And the crispier that Zach gets, the better that physique looks. Very proud of Zach, 4th place. Super, super stoked for him. Love to see him back on stage competing. But really, again, guys, the story of the weekend, and that we cannot ignore, Skinny Macho out of Ghana, right?
Yeah, Ghana.
Out of Ghana, yeah.
So him and Carlos Okron are onto something, clearly. I don't know what's going on over there, but that is just absolutely insane. I'm so glad we spoke about that. Real quickly, let's pop in his story, see if there's anything good for us to see. Checking his weight. He weighs 176 pounds, he says. Hold on. 176 pounds. Up 3 pounds after hibachi last night. Easy money. Went to bed at 179. This is the pre-morning poop, he says. What else does he have in his story? This is your winner of 2 pro shows, guys, in 24 hours. Here he is back at it. Keep firing. I imagine he's going to shut it down. Do you guys think he's going to keep going?
I think he's going to shut it down from what his team was telling me.
What does this say?
Hold up.
What does
6
this say?
days to go.
What is he saying?
Oh, I guess he's doing it. Hey, you win 2. Why not? I understand
if he
it.
wins
Why not? Let's go.
So
I thought he was shutting it down. That's what Alex said. Yeah, we might shut it down and everything. I guess he's going. Let's go. Let's do this, baby.
Yo.
My question is, what show's happening in 6 days?
Yeah, literally. I know you're pulling up that
This
schedule.
weekend? So it's this weekend coming up then.
So it is the St. Pete's.
Oh, man.
He's doing St. Pete.
If he's in St. Pete's, he's going to mess people's heads up, bro. That's going to be a great show. A lot of George Brown's going to be in St. Pete's, and so is Andre Ferguson.
I thought there'd be a couple of guys from this weekend show.
Wow, good stuff. Dallas Botchway. Okay, let's go on to this next show, guys. We got 1, 2, 3 more shows to cover. This one, in my heart, I feel so good about, because as much as I love Isai Kesek, Muhammad Rifki out of Indonesia, those are my dogs, right? Those are my day one dudes. But to see Talhal Killick out of Turkey finally win a pro show, I mean, this face, that's how I feel. I was making the same damn face Talhal was. This was so cool to see, man. This guy has busted his ass in the men's physique division in silence. If you watch his stories and the way this guy moves and the history of who he is, this one feels so good. I'm so happy to see Talhal Killick finally win a pro show. This guy deserves it. This guy's one of the hardest working guys in the league. And finally, he has manifested it. Code MPShow. Phil, I'll throw it over to you first this time. How did it make you feel after covering Talhal for the last year or so? How did it make you feel seeing this guy win a pro show?
I was wrapped. I mean, this guy's come so close for so long. I mean, he did the Marrakesh show a couple of weeks ago. I think he came 3rd in that show. This guy's been wanting to win for a long time. And I'm with you. This guy truly deserved to take out this one. You can just see how much work he's put into this prep. You can see how hard he's been digging. And in my eyes, this is the best look that I've ever seen on Talhal Killick. The guy was absolutely shredded to the bone. Not only that, but one thing that I noticed was in regards to his posing. This guy hit his pose, and he was the first one into the pose and the last one out of it. You see a lot of athletes, they jitter around, they reset, they cover their abs, and they go again. Once this guy hit the front pose, he did not move. And you could tell how hungry he was for this win. The minute he was placed in the middle, there was a guy that he actually knocked out of the way. He did the, who was the Chinese guy that pushed Ben Quill out of the way? It was a bit of like yes, he did something very similar to that. He wanted that middle box and he wanted no one else to take it. So I'm absolutely rapt that Talhal took out this one. The motivation, the momentum on this guy now to take out another one. I know he's doing the Philippines show in a couple of weeks' time. So this guy's going into this show red hot, ready to rock and roll. I mean, we saw what happened with Dallas, take out 2 pro shows back to back. Can this guy be another guy that's able to take out back-to-back shows in consecutive weeks? But I'm looking forward to seeing it. Gaffer, Talhal Killick.
Hey, you know what I gotta say? You know what I gotta say? No beer conquer!
Yeah, let's go.
All right, coming with the Beşiktaş Turkish flag with a Turkish scarf over here. Favorite soccer team. Let's go, baby. Hey, he crushed it.
Before you get into it, Gaffer,
good, bro.
How do you always have apparel for different topics?
I've done a lot of stuff in my life, bro. I've been a lot
I can
of places.
tell.
I'm always somewhere, always doing something, you know. But hey, I gotta tell you, I am such a huge fan of Talhal Killick, as we all know. The guy, let's go back real quick. Military, was a top military soldier in the army, in the army. He is a national athlete in Turkey for boxing. So if you mess with him on stage, you talk about owning that box. If someone would have wanted to get in his space, he could have put the hands on you real quick. The 156 special, and have you out. Okay. That's Talhal Killick, all right? And in addition to that, the guy's just got a bubbly physique. You see this type of bubbliness in terms of muscle bellies from guys out of Africa, okay? He looks bonkers and hitting those poses. We have been chanting and asking for him to just bring it all together, bring in that conditioning, bring in the fullness, bring in the posing, have that smile, have that fluidity to his posing, to his flow, on the stage. And he's sent us tons and tons of updates throughout the weeks leading up. He kept getting better and better and better and even more dialed in. So, hey, this one hits home. It's real special to us. Shout out to Talhal, our conquer. Let's go, baby. Can't wait to see you out in Turkey, man. Actually, we're going to see you in the Philippines. See you in the Philippines first, and then see you out in Turkey a couple of months after. Let's go.
Hart, I got to ask you a question, Hart.
Be careful.
No, it's a good one. You want to talk about Talhal, or can I ask you a different question?
Go. No, I'm
perfect. All right. So there was a man that was the favorite in Physique League last week.
Yes.
And Isai Kesek, the Prince of Indonesia. A lot of people had him winning that show. What happened on the weekend? What was it that got him in second place? How come he couldn't take out the win?
Yeah, what'd you see?
Man, right away, just like my eyes looking at Isai on stage, he didn't look his best. He looked flat. He didn't have that pop to his physique that I'm used to seeing. And first I was like, okay, is it the 480p footage or like what's going on? So I'll dissect this a little bit here. I know when Isai is rocking 1000%. I've seen it in person. I've seen it on stage at the New York Pro or Pittsburgh Pro. He just didn't have that fullness and that popness and that sharpness to his physique like he usually does. And who knows? Cortisol could be going high. They could have messed up in the last few hours of loading him up or not loading him up enough or protocol. There's so much that could go on in the background. But long story short, he came in 85%. And at 85%, Isai Kesek versus a dialed in, like always, Talhal Killick. Talhal Killick is now good enough to beat 13th in the world when he doesn't come in how he should. Isai still look good. He's still one of the best athletes in the world. I'm sure he'll still place top 15 at the Mr. Olympia. He is the Prince of Indonesia. But this league, these guys from all these different countries are getting so good that if you slip a little bit, guys like Talhal Killick will come in there and take your head off. That's what I think would happen. What do you guys think?
Look at where Junpei wound up at.
Where do you get? You got fifth?
Came in fifth, wow. Bro. He
got fifth.
Right?
Wow.
Like, you cannot fuck around or you will find out in this league. Anyone who's coming in nowadays, especially with the new rules, I love that they did this because now the fans were telling me when we were out in Tennessee this past weekend, they love it so much because now they get to see the top athletes actually have to show up to shows.
Yeah.
You can't, it's not like the all-star game in basketball where the athletes are like, oh yeah, I'm a top paid athlete, I'm LeBron, but I'm not doing the dunk contest or I'm not doing this. Like it kills the fans' enthusiasm for the sport. They want to see the best of the best hit the stage. If I'm paying money, if I'm going in, if I'm sitting down, you know, I want to see the top athletes hit that stage and get my money's worth and it be worth my time. You know, it's not that the other guys aren't good, but I mean, come on now. These are what everyone aspires to look like and aspires to be, and they have a certain pop, a certain flow, a certain it factor.
Yeah,
man, to see Junpei go up there and not be in the top two.
That's crazy,
bananas, bro.
Yo,
I mean, what?
He looks pretty decent too.
And you know what? Corey Morris actually said it perfectly. He literally uploaded something to his story about half an hour ago. And it was something along the lines of...
I'll pull it up right now.
Yeah,
shout out to Corey.
Shout out to our boy. About to take everyone's neck off.
Oh my God, when Corey goes on a rampage, it's a problem, bro. I just hope that he's got that look because he's been working on the gym so much. So I hope he's got that look. But we have some breaking news about Corey too, by the way. We need to.
What do you got? What do you got?
Did you know that the kids, the band is back together again? Corey Morris and Cuts back together again.
I didn't know they left. I didn't know they split.
He got with Neil Yoda real quick, and at this stage in his career, he just feels like, hey, I got a few years. Cuts knows my body. The time it'll take Neil to get to know my body versus what I'm going to get from Cuts. And if you notice, Cuts also, they had a conversation. Cuts also mentioned recently, hey, I'm not taking any new pro athletes. I need to really concentrate and give the attention to my guys. And I think that conversation with Corey, probably with Aaron and a few other guys, I think they're going to be dialed in. And I think Team Cuts is going to be back on the road again, setting this world ablaze, man. I can't wait to see it. So shout out to Cuts, Ariel, shout out to Corey, E-Banks. Y'all already know, man, Cuts has like a plethora. Vitor, I mean, we could keep going on and on about
shit, Baza,
and Baza. I mean, come on, man. What are we talking about?
Phil, what's this?
Oh, basically what I'll say, it pretty much summed up everything that we said because the season has gotten so interesting. You know, the athletes that you thought were going to be favorites of the show aren't winning the shows. People are, coming out of nowhere and shocking the world. Dark horses are starting to win shows. And Corey said it perfectly. If you're an athlete who's waiting till August thinking that you're going to guarantee yourself a shot at the Olympia this year, it ain't going to happen. This is going to make things so much more interesting, so much more exciting for men's physique fans around the world, as well as the athletes. Because now you can see the roster, you can see the results, you can see the points. It's anyone's game. And these underdogs are hungrier than ever. We saw Dallas, what he did over the weekend. We're going to see it more and more. We see Junpei where he won the Legion, then he competed at another show, he came runner-up, and now he's falling in 5th. You see someone like Talhal Killick beating number 13, number 14 in the world. Muhammad Rifki, a guy who hasn't competed at the Olympia, coming 3rd at a pretty stacked show. So these athletes need to get off the couch ASAP if they want a shot at competing at the 2026 Mr. Olympia.
Can we talk
did you see...
Go ahead.
Brother, real quick. Did you see Naveed?
Yeah, Naveed Ali.
Look damn good too.
Man, I like his physique, bro.
Phil, you first discovered him, I think. Let's talk about the Rifki. Yeah.
Rifki or Naveed?
Naveed.
Let's talk about Naveed first.
2025 pro show champion for Philippines. I'm sure he'll be at the Filipino show. Here's 8 hours ago, most recent update of him on stage at the Thailand Pro. Let's go. This guy's physique, Aleem, I agree with you. Aesthetics. Where's he from? Where's the flag? I don't see him.
He's from Iran. Wow. This is a confusing one because he's registered as Japan, but he's gone on the record saying he's from Iran. So, yeah, we're going to go with Iran.
Iranian.
For sure. Wow. He definitely looks more Iranian.
Yeah.
Yeah. But look at that. Wow. I mean, he is wide, big dude. He's a big dude. His back just needs to get a little bit more denser, I think, and a little bit more detail. And he's a problem. His front shot, his shoulders, all of that. I mean, has the wheels. I just really, really like this guy's physique, where it's going. He's still on his journey, though. Look at the shoulders. Look at the arm to shoulder and how it streamlines, man. That is beautiful. Into the flow of the forearms. The abs need to, right there, obviously, that wasn't the best shot. He contracts his abs better than that when he's on stage, but he's got a lot of good parts, man. He's got a lot of good stuff going on.
Great look. I agree. Phil, what do you think about it?
I love his look. I mean, we saw what he did in the Philippines. He beat Jovan Sagabin over there. He's coming I think he competed a couple of weeks ago. He came second a couple of weeks ago. But I don't know if he's qualified for an Olympia before, but this guy's hungry for an Olympia qualification. He's starting to run the gauntlet in Asia. We know he's doing the Philippines next week. He's going to be up there as one of the favorites. I know Talhal is going to be there. I'm assuming. Actually, no, Isai probably won't be there because he might do the Tokyo show. But there's going to be a stacked lineup at that Philippines show. And this just goes back to what I was saying earlier. Guys that weren't in the mix last year are now beating some of the best guys in the world. They're beating the Olympians. So this guy's definitely going to be a name that you want to keep your eye out on.
Yeah.
Oh, damn. Dude looks absolutely great. We got to talk about that third place, though.
Let's go.
That was crazy to see. That is what I'm talking about. Our boy, Mohamed Rifki, right behind his boy, Isai Kesek. We were talking about Mohamed and building him up prior to this show. This is a young guy out of Indonesia who we think one day is going to be seriously next up. Such an awesome physique, even though the quality isn't really there. Man, the flow of the physique, the width of the shoulders, the tiny waist, has decent legs. We already know the back is some of the best back in the entire league. I was really happy to see Mohamed Rifki get third place at this show. It just tells you how good he is. I mean, who'd he beat, guys? Let's think about it. He beat a good looking, and when I say good looking, I mean he showed up well to me, Junpei Taguchi. So Mohamed Rifki just beat a top Olympian. He says, I love you all, looking crazy in the sunlight. Rifki, we love you, brother. This was so cool to see. What did you guys think of Mohamed Rifki getting third place at the Thailand Pro? That's huge. Look at him.
Phil. Take it, Phil.
I'm wrapped with this. I mean, he was on an Instagram Live last week. He goes on Instagram Live quite regularly, and I happened to jump on, and he's so appreciative about what we do at the Men's Physique Show. The fact that we've been covering him for a long period of time. But one thing that he said was he's going to bring something special to this to this show, and he delivered on everything that he just said. I mean, to your point, I mean, he just beat the Legion. The Legion Sports Festival winner. In Asia, he's like you said. Hart, his back is something special. Like when he turns to the curtains, he's a young guy, he's a young kid. He's got a long future in this sport. And if this is the package that he's delivering now, what's going to happen in a year's time, 2 years' time, 5 years' time? He's definitely going to be, obviously Isai Kesek is now the Prince of Indonesia, but if there's going to be an heir to him, it is going to be Mohamed Rifki. And what I also loved is this guy trains out of Obsidian over there in Bali. So does Isai. They brought a whole team from Obsidian to this Thailand show. I know Galang also competed at this show as well. So they had a whole team. And the community that gym brings to the sport is absolutely unbelievable to see. The passion that they have, the way that they back each other up and they're there for each other, it's amazing to see. And, when you're in an environment like that, it's hard to lose, because everyone's picking you up, everyone's motivating each other. And I believe that could have been a driving force as to why Mohamed did place where he is, because just being in an environment like that, you just can't lose. But I love the package that he brought. I hope he does the Philippines show next week. I mean, he's in shape. Being in Asia, it's a quick flight over to the Philippines for Mohamed. So hopefully he's able to do that show. Hopefully he's able to collect some more points at that show as well. But yeah, very, very excited for this guy's future. Gaffer, he's a mini Isai,
bro. He almost beat Isai. Yeah. If he would have beat Isai, I would have had to call Isai and say, "Yo, what's happening, bro?"
The student beat the teacher. That's what we're gonna have to say.
What do you think, Gaffer? Do you think there's a case where you could say Rifki could have beat Isai?
Absolutely, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because the back is better and more detailed and denser. The chest is more pronounced and it's fuller. Isai does his thing with his chest where he caves his chest in. It's concave. Versus when you look at
Rifki, let me pause
Rifki, his chest is just popping out. It's convex. His thing is just popping out, and he's got such a bubbly, like, shoulder to chest ratio. It looks really, really beautiful. Isai, to me, those lats, the lat insertion, especially in the front shot, looks amazing. But he keeps crunching down on the abs, and I think that is doing him an injustice. It's making his chest cave in instead of bringing it up more. And I think that he's already got the abs. Maybe he was off here. Well, he was off here, as we all know. He was off here, and maybe that's why he was purposefully crunching down. But we saw him do it in New York, and he was on in New York also at the New York Pro. So just think that it's habitual for him to do it. I think they need to course correct that. Muhammad Rifki, I mean, I love the posing. I love everything. I'm just curious. You met him hard. You met him in person, right, Muhammad Rifki?
I didn't get to meet Muhammad, actually, just
okay.
Isai. But I video called him and I was talking with him. So very familiar with him, yeah.
I was curious to know how big he is in person, because the only hesitation I have with how well he does in the Olympia, because I do think that Muhammad Rifki and Isai will be in the O at some point. But I just want to know how big he is, because the guys going on stage, and I don't mean from a height perspective, I just mean from a amount of muscle packed onto the frame. Like you could look at a guy like Dallas Botchway we just talked about, shorter dude, but packs a lot of muscle on the frame. The question is, does Muhammad Rifki, other than the back, does he have the same kind of look in person? And that's the only question mark I have. But he looks good, man. I mean, he is well balanced. I like him a lot. I could have seen him beating Isai.
I think you made a really good point, Aleem, and Phil. I think Gaff is right, because from the back we look at it. I got Muhammad's back over all these guys' back. From the front, I start to see where he could use a little bit of size, but I think it's really just the chest, because we were looking at updates of Muhammad Rifki prior to this show, and shoulders and delts look really good. Like he has. I mean, look at this photo here. Dude has delts. Dude has arms. It's just, working with the chest genetics that he has. He has a little bit of that split going on, and insertions are a little bit high. So, Phil, what do you think? Is it just let's continue to grow the chest?
That's that Ben Quill Gappa chest. I got the same thing. Yeah.
I think not only is it the chest, but I think it also might be the midsection as well. I think he needs a little bit more detail in that midsection. We know how important the midsection is in this division. And I think that's where he's lacking a little bit. I mean, when you compare, let's say let's talk about Talhal Killick. He was absolutely dialed in that midsection. And if we're talking about guys at the Olympia, when you look at Ryan Terry, when you look at Brandon, when you look at Ali, those midsections are absolutely etched. His abs are kind of bubbly, but they're kind of missing the separation. So I feel like hopefully, when he does go back into an off season, he's able to focus a little bit more in that midsection. I feel like he may have missed the mark and may have lacked the training through the off season in that midsection. But if he fixes that up and then brings up the chest a little bit more, this guy's going to be money from that front shot as well.
Agreed.
It sounds like it's details. Like a lot of these guys, and what's affecting some of their placings is details, like conditioning and that sharpness. We were talking about Joe Uwazato, who one of the best physiques in the world, won that pro show. We had him just absolutely dominating the show this weekend. And because he didn't bring out the details on his physique, he lost, and he got outside of the top 6, which is just literally between the Dallas Botchway 2 shows and Joe Uwazato getting outside the top 6 were the biggest shocks of the weekend for us, I'm sure. But to your point, Phil, yeah, I think Muhammad Rifki, homework, let's bring out more details in the midsection. The midsection needs to pop even more so. Off season, he can work on the chest. Excuse me, these I don't know what got in my fucking or my head.
You got allergies, bro. Your allergies are going crazy right now.
Woo!
You like that? Yeah.
Dang, perfect timing though. But yeah, super happy for Muhammad Rifki. Dude looks amazing at this show. Looking at these placings we talked about, all these guys. Crazy Thailand Pro show. I'm sure we'll see some of these guys at the Philippines Pro. Okay, China. Of
Let's
course,
go.
This guy wins in China. I mean, this right now, I want to see him versus Li Jinbo. Xiaolong Li. I know.
Yeah.
champions this show. Gaffa, Avon, what'd you think? Our guy looks good. Dangerous.
He looks phenomenal, bro. Again, the posing is so good. Look how he brings in the obliques right there and creates the ab cage around those. Look how crispy it looks. Evon Palmera has a nastier ab cage than that, but you respect it because it looks like lightning bolt coming down the side of the abs. You know that it's like pow, 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 and etched like that. It is just a crazy, crazy look. And what I like about Lee is how he controls the tempo of the posing. One of the things you notice about Muhammad Rifki and a couple of other guys, they just hit the poses and they don't change the tempo. You know, then you look at Dallas Botchway, the tempo's changed. It's like beauty. It's like art. I think guys are going into their poses just bam, bam, you know, ready to get off. Either it's nerves or they just don't practice it enough or they just don't have the creative voice in their minds or outside from their team to tell them, hey, this is going to look even better if you present this way. When he does this, look at how Lee, when he brings that Ventura pose, you see all the striations coming down the arm, the forearms, everything. He's literally like almost like a person who drives really well and knows how to brake at a stop sign where they ease into it. He eases into all the contraction so beautifully, man. It looks amazing. And he's got the chest. He stands upright. So I'm really impressed, as always, with his presentation. I mean, he comes prepared. He's got a little bit of holding a little bit of ripples right there. I would probably stand up a little bit more when doing that transition into the face of curtain pose. But other than that, man, this guy is just incredible. Brought the lats up from last year. He looks great, man. What do you think, Phil? Yeah,
qualified for Olympia, Phil, with this show. Come on.
Yeah. I was gonna say, Gaffer, your analysis on that physique was absolutely spot on. And I just want to kind of touch on what you're saying about the tempo. You know what it shows me? What the tempo and the way that he poses shows me how confident he is in his physique. And I feel like the athletes that absolutely rush their physiques know that there may be flaws in their physique and they don't want to give the judges enough time to pick them apart. This guy knows that he's got a damn good physique, which is why he controls the tempo, which is why he showcases every little muscle, every separation the way that he does. In terms of a comparison between him and Li Jinbo, we're going to obviously see that now. They're both qualified for the Olympia. China now has 3 Chinese athletes go into that show, and for great reason. I mean, we know how great these athletes are coming out of China. The aesthetics, the balance, the proportions, the muscle tissue, these guys have incredibly impressive physiques. And, you know, Gaffer, like I didn't need to touch on his physique anymore because you absolutely nailed everything that you said about his physique. But I'm so happy to see him qualified for the Olympia. It's going to be a battle between all the Chinese athletes at the Olympia, that's for sure. Hart, what do you see? I mean, you've been covering him for a while now. You know Li Jinbo. There's our
dude, I love this guy. He's a personality. It's Zhao, right?
Zhao, yeah.
I want to meet him.
I would love to.
This guy acts like how I do. He doesn't take shit serious. Like, I love this dude, bro.
Facts.
How did he even do at this show? Do we know?
I think he came second.
Did he? Let's see. Oh, this is another. Hold on. Let's go back to another. Ooh, look at this footage. This is what I'm talking about, China.
Hang on, what's this? They got him on a wheel.
Yeah, they got him on like a carousel going around, bro. Look at that.
Get out of here.
They did that last year. It is so dope, bro.
Look at Zhao.
He just does not care.
I love that guy, bro. Dang, this is sick. There's Mahmoud.
Mahmoud was there too, yeah. This is so cool. We've said it so many times before. The Olympia needs to do things like this. Like, yes, it's good. It's good for the productions. It's great for the athletes, but more so for the fans. Like, this is what we want to see. Like, this is a merry-go-round of men's physique athletes.
Meet Carousel.
It is. Yeah.
Yo,
that dude looks crazy. Look at him.
Dude, no waist. How does he do?
He looks crazy. Yeah.
I could watch this for days. You know, sick.
I was watching something earlier. You know how we are. We're always students of the game, and I was watching this podcast earlier on men's physique, just to kind of hear what others have to say and where they're at. And I think just like bodybuilding, there's tiers to, you know, being a commentator and influencer, podcaster, and one thing that one of the guys was trying to say was, looking at a picture, he felt that so-and-so was better, and forget what the judges say, so-and-so was better. And I'm like, bro, if you're looking at things just from a picture and you're not watching these guys who might initially, like on this carousel, have a phenomenal physique, and you might say that physique at first glance looks better than the next one, but the next one wins. You have to start asking why. One thing is because maybe the guy is fading. Maybe he faded. Maybe the tan starts to run. Maybe they're sweating. Maybe they're breathing through their abdomen. Like, there's so many other variables that go into how judges are judging these athletes. They're not looking at a picture. They're looking at an organic, live, kinetic moving person in front of them. And that's what they're judging versus some of these would be, commentators or whatever. I don't want to say would be, but they're commentators are only looking at pictures and trying to make an opinion a fact, without all the data points, without actually being there and seeing it live. So, shout out to all the judges in the IFBB. I think they do a phenomenal job, all of them, for the most part. And they are judging based on what's in front of them, what's presented at that day, in that moment, against everybody else on that day, at that moment. And that's how they judge these guys. So just wanted to throw that out there real quick.
I think you're spot on.
Great point, Gaffer.
I want to see my boy Zhao. Where's Zhao at? I want to pull him up. We're going to pull out one more athlete here. I think I know his name. I think it's Z-H-A-O. Z-H-A.
Z-H, yeah, A-O-O.
Zhao Hain,
there he
bro.
is.
Look at this guy. What is this?
Does he have a cigarette? Where's the cigarette?
That's what I was thinking. Where's the cigarette this time?
Cigarette, bro.
Dude. Looking like the Matrix coming out of the thing here right now. This is sick, bro. Yo,
Yeah.
China puts on a show, bro.
Impressive.
I would love to go to one of these Chinese shows in person, just to witness it, just to see, like, it's a spectacle. Like, this is what bodybuilding's about. Like, we've said it many times before. The athletes put in so much work, time, effort, sacrifice. These guys must feel like they're on an Olympia stage every single time they jump onto one of these Chinese shows.
Zhao.
Hey, what's the next China? There's another show in China that's going down, I think, in a few weeks, because Edvon's doing that one. He's flying out to China and going to do that.
China or Japan? There's a Tokyo Pro happening in a couple of weeks' time.
No, he's not doing Tokyo. He's doing a show in China. There's another China show. I don't know what it is. I forget the name, but we'll reach out to him and find out. But that show.
Let me break this down. Let me talk about this guy.
Talk about Zhao, man.
Zhao.
Love Zhao.
If I was a men's physique guy, I would want to be Zhao. I love the confidence. The stage presence is like none on earth. And he came in really damn good. Look how hard and full this guy looks. Awesome stage presence. Awesome posing. He has the shape. He has the slick back hair. Look how much fun this guy is having on stage. Look at him go. Go for it, brother. I love the shorts. I love the color of the shorts. The tan is like money to me. Lean talks about the tan all the time. The back has nice separation and is full. Second place at the China Pro. Our boy Zhao looking phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Only reason he got beat is just because our boy Xiaolong Li was in the mix, but this guy just flows. He has personality on stage. His physique gets better and better every time we see him on stage. I love this. Zhao, let's go. Let's go. Yes,
sir.
Zhao.
He's just having fun.
Dude.
Agreed. Everything you said, brother. I second.
Wow. He pumps me up.
What do you think, Phil?
Spot on.
Your turn, Phil.
I love the facial expressions. Like, it's like every pose has a different facial expression. He can go from serious to like eyeing everyone off to smiling and laughing. Like, look at that. He's gone from super serious to having fun. He's going to probably go back to a super serious face in the next transition. Bang, there it is. It's just very theatrical. Like I said earlier, like, it's about having fun. It's about, owning that stage. However you want to show your personality on stage, that's what it's about. Interact with the fans, interact with the judges. I love this.
Bro, the little smirks that he does reminds me of like the Chris Bumstead. One of the things that made Chris Bumstead have such great stage presence was those little half smiles, those smirks, where it's like I'm the shit. Like I'm up here. I'm about to kill this shit. Like that's the vibe I get from Zhao. I love it. Everything, everything Hart said and you said, bro.
You know what? It's a good way to control the cortisol as well. Like, think about it. Like, you're going into this show. There's a lot of athletes that are super serious, super locked in, super stressed. This guy doesn't seem stressed at all, and his physique shows it. He's super relaxed. He's not stressed. There's no stress in his body.
Hey, you see my body B1? Body B1 from last year.
When you jump back on stage
last year,
I thought you were going to jump back. You jumping back on stage anytime soon?
Probably the end of this year. We're gearing up for the end of this year, and doing April for sure. I'm running in April for big time.
We're gonna do a physique breakdown on Gaffer when he jumps on stage.
I can't wait too, bro. I can't. Do you too? Oh, I know my shit's gonna be good. Cause I'm like,
you know it.
I'm gonna be sending you guys updates all throughout. What do you think? I got the best guys here. Come on now. I'm in my backyard. Why would I not?
You know it. I almost forgot about this. I almost forgot about this show. I thought we were wrapping it up.
That's right. Last show that we're going to cover before we get out of here, Horde, the battle between Mauro Fialho and our boy Sidy Pouye, both multi-time Olympians, both very unorthodox type physique, both two completely different looks here. I'll play the video. Shout out to Mario Photo for this awesome, first of all, for lighting this entire page up with some dope graphics and video. But this was the battle this weekend at the MPro Classic. Mauro Fialho, look at that smile. He's happy to be up there. Mauro Fialho, one of the most competitive competitors in the men's physique league. This guy. He takes it like Talhal Killick seriously. Like, he takes this stuff serious. He lives and breathes it. And this was the matchup we got to talk about. First place at this show, Sidy Pouye comes away with the win. Mauro Fialho on the left. And it's so crazy. Sidy Pouye, better back. Mauro Fialho, you could argue has a better midsection and flow to that midsection. Calves, I'm not even going to talk about it. You can see it from here. But this was crazy. This was nuts. And guys, let's do a deep dive on this and really give our analysis. Why did Sidy Pouye beat Mauro Fialho when we look at this comparison right here?
Buff Gaffer.
I'm going to first tell you something that's like people just take for granted. Let's start with the board shorts. We talk about the contrast in color. His skin color, Sidy's skin color is darker. He's got white shorts and black.
Pops.
It just pops, bro. You go right to the look. You go right to him. That's number one. Number two, he has a wider waist than Mauro does, so he angles the waist, which gives the illusion like it is small, like it's small, up to par with Mauro. And he's got wide lats. So that angle with all the detail, with all the striations going through from the obliques area, the abs are bubbly, the shoulders are popping. I actually saw them pose next to each other, and I'm not gonna lie. Obviously we love Mauro, and I kept looking at him, and I was like looking, and he looked phenomenal. Like, you could see the improvements from last year. Nice full chest, great shoulders, the whole nine, great arms. The back has come up. He's got a beautiful waist, like the obliques go straight down. They're not bulging out on the side. I really like what he did. Last year, the obliques were bulging on the side. Now they don't. I like that he made and streamlined the core section. Looks great. Has great calves, amazing calves, great legs. But my eyes kept getting drawn to Sidy because his back is just so freakish. Look at his lats and how they just insert so low and they're dense, and you just see it. Even though he's got a little bit of, he's got some lines because of how he's posing, and maybe he's holding a little water, but it's enough to still win on today. And he stands upright. Sidy used to have like a little bit of a crunch when he would pose, and he would kind of like bend over a little bit. He's standing straight up. He's erect now. He looks great. I mean, control. My eyes just kept going straight to him. Started with the board shorts. It started with the pop of color. And then what kept me there, just like a relationship, you start off with the looks, and then you want to see what's under the hood, what's in their head. It started with the board shorts, and then I saw the posing. I saw the muscle bellies and everything. I said, this guy looks crazy. His shoulder ratio is like a football field. Like, literally, it's 100 yards from shoulder to shoulder. It looks bananas. So I was really impressed with Sidy. I was absolutely impressed with Mauro. I think he's come up, but Sidy he was on today, man. What do you think, Avon?
Yeah, spot on. One thing, I mean, you dissected Sidy really well. I want to talk about Mauro. And what I feel like Mauro did was he brought back that look that got him that 13th place at the Olympia.
Totally.
Because after the Olympia, obviously he tried some different things. He missed the mark with the Romania Pro. I think he came in that last call out the week after or 2 weeks after the Olympia. He was in it for redemption now. And I like the fact that he brought back the look that he brought to the Olympia. The conditioning was there. He was absolutely peeled. I love the hair color too. He's gone with that bleach hair. And it all counts. I mean, like you said, Gaffer, like the board shorts play a part, but when you're in bodybuilding, you're trying to get the judge's attention as best as you can. And by changing your hair color just like he did, definitely would have got some more eyeballs drawn to him. But the physique that he brought was great. Like you said, from the bottom, like the calves are they're massive. They are massive. They complement the upper body really well. The back, the detail is there. It was an impressive, really, really, really impressive look. But when you look at the back shot, like Sidy's just a lot wider from that back. He's got a much better back, more detailed back, more dense back than what Mauro did. But all in all, it looks like now he's back off the couch. He had a bit of time off to let the body rest. Now the body's running on all 6 cylinders, all 8 cylinders again. And this guy's is ready to rock those stages like he did in 2025.
I think it could have gone either way, boys. I don't know. I think time and time again this weekend we saw the judges pick the guy who came in with the best conditioning, with Dallas Botchway, with Zhao Long, with all these guys. And I feel like Mauro brought a really good physique, and it could have gone either way. Yes, Sidy has the wider back, maybe a little bit more muscle on the frame, but as far as overall balance, even though it's harder to see because of, again, the shorts, I feel like could be a little bit longer on Mauro. His calves, and the Gaff was talking about it before, when your calves are so big and you have shorts that are so short and then your calves are actually wider than your actual thigh muscle, it kind of looks weird. So even though Sidy has really skinny legs, there's still more of like a flow to like skinny to wide. With Mauro, it's like wide, super skinny by the knee, by the lower quad, and then like massively wide again. And I think these are Mauro shorts, which are sick, by the way. The level shorts that he made, those are fucking badass, excuse me. But I feel like, again, I think I would have picked a different color for Mauro, and I would have picked a little bit longer of the shorts. But as far as the overall package that Mauro brought, this again could be that top 15 package for Mauro. So I think Sidy Pouye was not conditioned enough for me to choose Mauro. Personally, if I was a judge, I probably would have gave Mauro just a little bit more than Sidy because I think Mauro suffered a little bit more. And I think he brought a nice full conditioned physique. It's hard to ignore the mass of Sidy and how much space that guy takes up. It's crazy. But again, I think I would have given it to Mauro on today's show. But it's close. Either way, I'm guessing the scorecards, if we take a look at them later, are going to be really damn close. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I agree with you. One thing about the shorts, too. I've heard, and not every judge, but I've literally had conversation and heard some of the judges say, when guys are wearing their shorts that high for men's physique, it's not popping. It's just not, it's not aesthetically attractive a lot. It's hard to get away with that, especially when you don't have the perfect, upper and lower leg proportion to complement a short. Like you're having board shorts that are short shorts, right? And you're going like, I think those are 14 inches. I think they are, right?
They're short.
Those short shorts.
They're short.
They're short. Like there's a couple of guys who stepped on stage this past weekend that had really short shorts. Like the guy who came in fourth at this same show, who has a phenomenal look. I mean, he looks crazy. That dude right there, yeah.
But the flow's
Look
better.
how short those are.
His flow,
the legs go crazy, but like, would you have done better had you just had the regular, shorts and a different color? That made it pop. That was more of a contrast to the physique, to the tone of the colorway of the body. Possibly, right? I mean, we won't ever know now because it's over. But he has a crazy look. Look at that, etched the whole nine. I mean, he might have wound up in third or so, maybe even moved into second. Who knows? But
talk about it, Bill.
Yeah, what do you think?
The first thing I was going to say is the only argument that I could think of by having the longer shorts is because if your quads are a little thinner, it could be a little baggier when it gets towards the knee.
We've seen that with Amit. We've seen that with Anik. We've seen that.
And I feel like that could be the disadvantage by having the shorter shorts, the longer shorts, if you do have smaller legs. So I can see the argument for both.
But they got to take them in then. You know, they should
exactly
go get them hemmed in. This is your uniform. This is your outfit. You know, go to seamstress and get it done. You know, I'm with you on that.
Yeah, I completely agree. If that was the case, like I prefer the longer shorts on the men's physique athletes. It's like going to the beach and you see like the guys that wear the really short shorts. You're like, you shouldn't really be wearing those shorts. I think the same with the men's physique guys. Like if you cover the quads a little bit more, if you know, it's like bodybuilding as a whole. Like if you don't want to show your weaknesses, and if you are an athlete with smaller legs, you don't want to show that to the judges because you're going to get marked down for it. But speaking of this guy, I don't know too much about this guy, but from what I saw, this guy was super impressive. This guy could have easily moved higher up the ranks of this show because the package that he brought was it was almost flawless. I mean, the abs were there, the V-taper was there, the arms are there, the chest is there. Yes, he's got some quads. Obviously, he's revealed them with the shorter shorts, but this guy could have etched up a placing also. Like I said, I don't know too much about him, but the physique that he presented is really, really good. I'm looking forward to seeing more of him. Gaffer, what do you think about him?
Man, you hit it right on, man. I mean, the guy's got the abs. He's got the ab cage. He's got, just a very clean, hard look, pause, and he's got the graininess. He's got great arms, shoulders. Look at the delts popping. Look at the separation between the bicep and the tricep on him. I mean, he looked really, really impressive, bro. He looked really impressive. I was happy to see an athlete that the three of us don't even know like that, and we know everybody, actually make noise the way he did. And now he's on our radar. So what's his name one last time?
Yeah. Is he Turkish? What is he? Hidayat Mashar.
Yeah, he's Middle Eastern. But there you go. Like, look at the record. Like, he's won the Dubai Pro.
The Dubai Pro. Yeah.
The Dubai Pro would not have been an easy show for him to win.
So that was NPC. So that was 2024.
Oh, it was an MCC.
Yeah, because that says overall. So there's no overall in pro. So he won NPC Dubai in 2024. So he's a relatively new pro. He's only been on the scene, it looks like probably two years at most.
Bright future. There he is.
Bright future.
Let's see. Him in City. Wow.
Five Guys. Everyone's going to Five Guys, boys.
We've all felt this feeling of you guys remember that feeling? Post show, eating all the food. I remember that. I miss that. Good stuff. Wow. Well, congratulations to Sidy Pouye. Congratulations to Mauro Fialho. We cannot wait to see more of that guy. But that was an insane episode, boys. Excuse me for almost dying over here. I don't know what got into me, but that was really fun regardless.
Huge show. Yeah, 5 pro shows covered. We've got a couple more pro shows happening this weekend. We've got the St. Pete's. We've got you need to buy yourself another box of tissues just to blow your nose.
No, you see that? Aleem missed it. Aleem, I went like this.
Damn.
Oh my God.
Damn.
Please.
That's why there's pollution in Thailand, because they're cutting all the trees just so hard to blow his nose. But guys,
let me hold on real quick. I want to show you something. Can I share my screen?
Yeah, share it.
Yeah.
When I'm thinking of heart right now, I'm thinking of this right here.
What movie is that from? Is that from Hitch? Hitch, when he was like the
Hitch. Yeah.
That's how I feel. That's hilarious.
I can see it.
That's hilarious.
But yeah, guys, 3 shows happening this weekend. We've got the St. Pete's Pro, we've got the Tokyo Pro, and we've got the Italy Pro going down in this weekend, which we're looking forward to covering. We'll cover more of it on the next episode. But guys, if you've made it to the end of this episode, we really, really do appreciate you. If you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel, make sure to do so. We hit over 30,000 subscribers last week, and we're continuing to grow throughout the course of the year, especially leading up to the Olympia, and we need your help to do so. So if you haven't subscribed, make sure to tap the subscribe button. Also tap the bell icon to be one of the first to see every episode, as well as interviews when they go live. Now that I'm back home, the interviews are going to start to ramp up. While you're there, make sure to like and drop a comment. It really helps with the algorithm. And also, last but not least, you know the drill. Take a screenshot, use the QR code in the corner, upload it to your IG story, tag the Men's Physique Show official Hart McGrath, Aleem Bolton, and Philip Naselli, and we'll reshare that to our story to help promote the show to the broader and wider bodybuilding audience around the world. Last but not least, a special thank you to all the guys that are helping to power the show. Manifest Board Shorts, Metabolic, Physique, ProSeek, and Dr. Campbell over there at the Center of Wellness and Pain Care. All discount codes and links are going to be in the description below. And guys, again, thank you for making it to the end. Enjoy the rest of the morning, the night, the evening, whatever time you're watching this one. And we'll see you in the next. Peace.